kind of small, doesn't it?
Yeah?
Looks like the beginning of the world.
More like the end of it. How long do you suppose it's been like this?
Millions of years.
You know, when I was a kid, I knew an old guy, lived to be 94. His hands were all wrinkled with rheumatism. I used to think he was the oldest thing in the world.
That was a different world, that's all.
Shortcut, huh? That's what the man said. You take the shortcut and I'll take the long way, and I'll get to Canary before you.
Just sit there and let that car run right into you. Get yourself sued.
Hey, what's the matter with you two?
What'd you have to stop for? He was just going to move.
Sorry, we lost our heads. Three to one on the donkey. No bet.
He's not a donkey, he's a mule. Come on, you're making a spectacle of yourself.
It's the wrong approach. It's got no shame.
You don't have to make remarks. He understands every word you say.
Well, in that case, we better M-O-V-E.
R-I-G-H-T.
It's a nice game you've got there. Have fun.
I think they're so smart. Listen over, Jack. You have to understand. If you don't come with me now, you'll die. Can't make it any plainer than that.
This letter from Tom Harrison could be a letter of recommendation or it couldn't be. Depends. Which one of you is Buzz?
That's me.
Says here you're fast with your hands. Doesn't say at what.
Well, Mr. Harrison, he left that open.
Wouldn't be you cleaned up on his foreman, Jim Cutler.
There was a little misunderstanding.
Who won?
Well, like Mr. Harrison says, Buzz is pretty good with his hands. Anyway, we understood that the only qualification for this job was to be good with our seats.
You ride?
More or less.
More for him, less for me.
Let's have a look.
Just think of all those wasted hours in the smoke-filled pool rooms at 10th Avenue when you could have been out in Central Park with the real people, learning to ride a horse. And you could have been up here with me.
Back on his feet.
Mr. Moorcroft? It's Homer Page, Mr. Moorcroft.
Homer Page and friend.
Don't make jokes about things you don't understand.
Afternoon, Homer.
Afternoon, Mr. Moorcroft.
How are your brother and sister?
They're fine. I didn't come here socially, Mr. Moorcroft.
Oh?
I came to sell over, Jack.
Oh. Well, I don't know, Homer.
I'm not especially concerned about the price, so we shouldn't have any trouble about that.
Well, it's not the price exactly, Homer. We don't use many mules anymore. Just about all horses now.
Oh. Thank you very much anyway. Come on over, Jack. Come on.
Tell you, Homer. I tell you, every now and again do get somebody remembers the old days and they ask for a mule. Might be a good idea to have one around. Take $25?
Yes, sir. That's your signed bill of sale. All you have to do is add the price. I left a place for it. I guess this isn't the best thing we would want in the world, but it's the best I could figure out to do. You stay here with Mr. Moorcroft. You belong to him now. He's not so young anymore, you know. Whoever rents him, you make sure they understand that. I wouldn't want anybody to get mad at him. He's used to being treated gentle.
Well, I expect he'll be working mostly with children anyhow. Matter of fact, I'll see to it that way. You want to lift home?
No, thanks. That's all right, Mr. Moorcroft.
Got to drive out your way this afternoon anyway. No trouble at all.
No, thanks. God gave us legs.
How far has he got to go?
8, 9 miles.
Sold over, Jack. For $25. I didn't think it was going to be so hard. We can use the money, though. Virgil and Helen send their regards. I mean, I guess they would if they knew I was coming here. They'd send their regards. They're working very hard to keep everything going. I think the ranch is doing just about as well as could be expected this year. We're doing about the same things you'd be doing if you were here. I'm 12 years old today. You're supposed to be pretty grown up when you're 12. But it won't hurt anything if I come and talk to you for another year, will it? I'm pretty grown up in most things.
Your buddy. My buddy. Whose idea was it to buy him?
Well, I read it in your eyes. All I did was say what you were thinking. I don't suppose it means anything to you that we got to work for nothing to pay for you. Now, move.
Why should he? We're the sentimental slobs. He's a realist.
Oh, now you move. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Howdy.
Hi. How far are we from the Page Ranch?
Well, you're about 10.5 miles or a mile and a half, depending on which way you go.
A mile and a half sounds better.
That's a little hard to describe unless you're familiar with the country.
My land, Paul. Aren't you going to offer them a cool drink of water? They must be dying of thirst.
What she's dying of is curiosity. That wouldn't be the Page boy's mule you got there, would it?
Well, we've got him or he's got us, either way.
I know what you mean.
That's Homer's mule you got there, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, they're three nice children, those Page children. Homer, Helen, and Virgil. From the youngest to the oldest. Now, Virgil's hardly 20, and they've been running that place by themselves ever since Greenwell Page, the father, ever since he died. That was 2 years ago, last May 23rd. You know, they're the most independent youngsters you ever saw. Won't take help from anybody. Of course, in a manner of speaking, they've been on their own ever since right after Homer was born, when Grace died. Grace Page, the mother. When she died, I said to Greenwell, Green, you ought to get married again for the sake of the children. But there you are, because he died himself.
Yeah.
2 years ago, last May 23rd, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Mother, I don't think that the boys are interested in the Page family history.
Oh, dear.
I'll tell you what, since you're driving, you better just follow the lane here back to the main highway, and then you turn left and go down to where it's marked Bright Canyon, and turn in there.
Thanks. Thanks for the water, too.
Thank you.
Dust storm's kicking up, I do believe.
Yep, it's been a dry year.
Moorcroft gave me $25 for him.
Very proud of you, Homer.
Virgil around?
He went up to Bright Canyon to hunt strays. Now, you wait out here a minute, and I'll call you when you can come in. Surprise.
There's some little clouds up there.
All right, you can come in now. Thanks, Howard. Happy birthday. We'll light the candles when Virgil gets back, okay?
Hey, come on out here and see what I got.
Cabin season's been over almost 2 months.
Well, that ain't all. There's another one up there. Homer, I figure that's God's birthday present to you. Well, let's get this one down. Come on. Yeah. All right, let's get this one penned up. Then I'm going up there and get the other one before the dust rises too high. Come on in.
Come on.
Get up. Come on. All right. Sell the mule?
$25.
Overjack!
Special delivery for Homer Page.
Overjack! You came back to me. You came back to me.
Either you're fools or you're the meanest, rottenest men I ever met.
Please just go away.
After I get an explanation.
Well, leave him alone. I'll give you the explanation. This ranch. There's been drought here for 2 years. Do you see that? That's what gives us water. Last year, we got water at 900 feet. When suddenly it stopped, we got 10 drops of water an hour. We took our last savings and we drilled down 400 feet more. And water came. You see that alfalfa across the road? Without water, it dies. You see those steers? Without water, they die. Now, there's me and Homer and Virgil. And that ranch is all we have. And we don't have it anymore if we don't have any water. Now, it was done, and you undid it. There isn't enough water here for Overjack, too. He doesn't pull his weight here anymore, and he has to go. Do you understand? How many times do you think you can ask a 12-year-old boy to give up the thing he loves the most in the world? There isn't enough water here for Overjack, too. If you were really as ashamed as you look, you'd take that mule back with you. Take him right back where you got him.
No. I already gave him away once today. It's not fair twice in the same day. Couldn't I just have him for today and tonight and tomorrow morning?
No, Homer.
Well, just for the rest of the day, then.
Homer, it'll only get more difficult. Before you take him back, won't you come in? Have some coffee?
I'm going to give him my water.
Homer, that mule, he belonged to me long before he ever belonged to you. Before you even born. You know that, don't you? And last night when we all of us sat down about it, did we put it on you, me and Helen, to think our way? You thought it was right last night, either sell him or destroy him. Can you think of anything that's been changed, Homer? Just this once.
Virgil.
Hmm?
Helen! Helen, the well's gone dry!
Maybe it'll start up again.
Maybe the washers on the pump wore out.
Well, we got about 19 hours of water.
What happens after that?
Cattle begin to die.
Could be just the washers, Virg.
Well, we got 1,300 feet to go down just to find out. It's about 30 hours of work, day and night. All we got is 19. I think maybe I ought to go into the bank and see Harvey Payson and see if we can borrow some money, buy some water, huh?
You might borrow some from the Pepperells.
Oh, they got little enough without carrying us on their backs. Back as soon as I can.
God brought down boils on Job also. Come on, I'll drive you. What are you gonna do, walk?
Tank is kept covered.
Where are you going?
That other calf is up on Bright Hill with the dust coming this way.
You suppose I could borrow that horse? up here for that?
That calf is another head of cattle. Give me a hand, will you? Where do you live?
Well, we just sort of move around.
My great-grandfather settled in this land in 1847. We pages don't move around much. Put him right here.
Yeah, now how would you have done that if I wasn't here?
You'd be surprised what you can do if you have to.
There are things that can't be done.
Do you think we're the first generation that ever came up against a drought? There's always a drought. It's part of the way things are.
Sorry, Overjack.
Good luck.
Virgil.
Mr. Payson?
We're closed, but come in.
Mr. Payson, our well broke down again.
Can you fix it?
I don't know. Maybe just the washers on the pump, but I need enough water to carry me through until I find out.
You go down about 1,300 feet, if I remember.
That's right.
You'll need water to last you about a week.
Well, I got 19 hours on hand.
You got 123 head of cattle.
25. Picked up a couple of late calves this morning.
8 gallons a day apiece.
6.
Should be 10, Virgil. 8's cutting it pretty thin.
We'll make do on 6.
750 gallons a day. 5 days, that's 3,750 gallons for the cattle alone. You figure to move the cattle to the water or truck it in?
I want to truck the water in.
That means you'd have to rent a truck, too. 5 days. $35 a day. Rental, 11 cents a mile. Who do you expect to buy from?
Charlie Grease.
That's about 18 miles from here. 2 trips a day, back and forth. That's how much you need. What's your collateral?
My cattle.
You know what cattle are bringing at the stockyards? Now, figuring in feed, amortization of the land, labor, everything. A man with 125 head of cattle this year stands to lose $12.60 a head.
That's the only collateral I have.
You've got your land, free and clear.
In 1931, my father took out a loan for $4,700 against that land. It took him 18 years to pay it back.
I can't take your beef, Virgil.
Mr. Payson, as long as I own that land free and clear, everything that I get for the beef, I can give to you. I'll pay you back that way.
And where does that leave you, Virgil? Where does that leave you for next year? Now, a drought can last 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. How much longer can you hang on without going under?
Not that land.
You hang on and you hang on. What for? Just to push back further the day when you have to go under. Dollars and cents and arithmetic don't make bargains. You and Helen and Homer, all of you, you have your lives ahead of you. Now, you ought to consider that before you dedicate yourself to a piece of land that won't make out.
Those cattle are going to die if they don't get water.
You put up your land for collateral, and the bank will be glad to put up the money.
No, sir.
Virgil, you walked in here for a loan. I don't intend for you to walk out empty-handed. I want you to have some advice. Don't borrow money for water. Sell out. There are plenty of ranches around you big enough to buy you out, add you on, and profit by it. Plenty of them will offer you a fair price. You talk about free and clear, Virgil? That's the only way you'll ever be free and clear again.
The day I die, the deed for that land will still be in the name of Page. Thank you, sir.
I don't suppose they keep a spare bank around just in case of an emergency.
We're going to pull that pipe up from that well. We're going to hope it's only the washers, and then we're going to fix it.
Meanwhile, what happens to the cattle?
Well, we'll hope we can hang on to a few of them. Hope some of them won't die.
Now, he's your responsibility. You take him and tie him up good this time. And when you come back here, I want you to water the staff. Hold it! Start the motor!
Well, it's going to be dawn soon.
You want to go sleep in the house? Looks peaceful.
Won't as soon as the sun comes up. You don't know the wind in this part of the country. In the mornings, it's always quiet like this. Then the sun comes up, the wind comes up with it. When there's drought like there is now, everything that isn't tied down with crops or trees or brush begins to blow. Sometimes it seems like half the earth is blowing through the air.
How do you work with all that going on?
We don't have much choice, do we? You better wake the others up now.
Breakfast. Give me a couple of minutes before you wake up old Virgil, huh? What are you doing?
Borrow a cup of sugar.
Ready?
Virgil will be awful sore when he finds out. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure I can do it either.
Virgil's got too much pride for his own good.
What does that mean?
When you fall in the ocean, you holler for help.
Not Virgil.
How about you?
Morning, Mrs. Pepperell.
Good morning, Homer.
Well, go ahead, ask her. I'd like to speak to your husband.
He's mending fences.
I'll go where he is.
Well, you follow that road about 1.5 miles till you get to the first fork. You turn left there and just keep on going. He's somewhere there.
Thank you. Homer, you wait here for me.
Hello.
Morning.
How's the well coming?
You mean you know about that?
Now, a man can't walk in the bank to borrow money for water without everybody knowing about it. Not around here, anyway.
You mean everybody around here knows about it, and you're just letting those kids work their hearts out, and nobody's lifting a finger to help them?
They haven't asked for any help
Do
that
they
I
have
know
to
of.
ask? Does it have to come out of their mouths? Isn't it enough to know the fix they're in? What are you people going to do? Just let them go under?
Come on over here with me. If you was to look on the map, you'd find this place still marked as the town of Adairville. This is all that's left of it. Just a dozen graves here. 4,000 years ago, there were basket makers living up in those hills there, Indians. But they died out. Then this land was empty for a while, maybe 1,000 years. A little over 100 years ago, a community of Mormons moved in. They hung on for about 50 years, and then it got too tough for them, and they moved away. The sand and the wind came and covered everything. There's nothing left here, not a trace of that town or those people, just these few graves here. It was never written down that people had to be the winners here. There's no guarantee for anyone. Not for this town, nor for us, nor for the Page children. We've managed to hang on, but only because we've helped one another.
So who's helping those 3 kids now?
You think we haven't tried? They can have help whenever they ask for it. But they have to ask.
I didn't ask for anything, Virgil.
That was my idea, and it was a bad one. Talk about false pride. This boy was more afraid of displeasing you by asking than he was of watching the steers die. What's the matter with you people?
Hold it! Get out of there, you mule! You stay away from this water! Get away!
Let him go! You're hurting him!
Keep out of this, boy! Get out of here! Get away! Stay out of here! Get out of here and stay out of here! There's no water for that mule around here, boy. If I catch him here again, I'm gonna kill him.
If there's water for us, then there's water for all of you! He walked all the way to the Fibberals and back! And it wasn't his fault I didn't take charity. He earned a drink of water. And Virgil drove him away. Virgil had no right. He earned a drink of water. He earned a drink.
You stay here, boy. You let that mule go, you understand? I'm responsible here, and I said let him go.
We couldn't find any tracks. The winds covered them over.
They must have gone beyond Bright Canyon.
We'll find them. The car will be ready in a minute.
Virgil, Homer's lost. We've got to go look for him.
All right.
Please come with us.
I can't, Helen. I gotta fix the well, otherwise we're gonna lose the ranch.
Sometimes you fight, Virgil, but you get beaten.
I can't give up.
You come as far as you can. You're licked.
You don't understand. This earth was made for human beings. Sure, it fights. It tries not to yield. The hand of man has got to turn it, plant it, bring forth food and life. That's what we was put here for. Whether it's easy, bitter, makes no difference. You gotta hang on, from generation to generation, till that bitter earth gives itself up to your will.
You see that rock, Virgil? It has no choice. It has to stand there until it's worn away. You're a man. You have a choice. You can move.
Car's ready. Helen?
Overjack. Overjack. Don't worry. I won't leave you, Overjack. I won't leave you. I didn't leave him, Ellen. I stayed with him all the time. I never left him.
We need help. Oh, please, I don't.
It looks like you're back in business again, Virgil.
I want to thank you. Well, it's been long, but we come through.
This time.
We come through. What do you got to cry about, Helen?
What about next time? What about next year? Virg, I don't want to fight anymore.
Helen, we got a piece of land. That's more than most people.
And did you ever stop to add up the cost, Virg? Mother was 31 when she died. Dad was 44.
What is it you want to do instead?
I want to sell out. Don't tell me that you never thought about it.
Helen, we had 3 generations of people give up their lives for this ranch. Not so we could sell out.
When we found Homer, he was just sitting there next to Overjack. And Overjack was dead. And Homer knew it. But he just sat there because he'd promised not to leave. Promises don't belong to the dead, Virg. They're for the living.
Virg, I just wanted you to know, I wasn't angry when you hit me. I was talking to those 2 fellows, Virg. They were telling me about places they've been to, jobs they worked at.
I know.
I was thinking, I don't want to live here anymore, Virg. A place where there isn't enough water for some poor old mule.
We got water now, Homer.
Wasn't any when Overjack needed it.
Well, how's the car?
It's fine. Needs a bath. Well, maybe we'll see you again sometime.
Maybe. I guess you fellas seen a lot of the country, huh?
Well, it's a big country. You have to travel a lot if you want to see it all.
You ever been up northwest, Oregon, say? They tell me it's pretty lush up there.
Never know till you see it for yourself. Good luck.
Thanks.
Mr. Pepperell, hold on here a minute, will you?
Yeah?
I need to talk to you.
I don't know what we're so happy about. We're going to have to work for nothing till we pay for that mule.
I guess that's it. We didn't do too bad selling out. We got a pretty fair price. We got money in our pockets. I guess the main thing, Dad, we've got something to look forward to. It's a little far away, and that's a little scary, but we're all three of us together. And there's nothing all three of us together can't handle. That's the way I look at it. You be well, Dad. Goodbye. Let's go.
Presentation from Columbia Pictures, Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.